Cheryl, Ling, good to live to see another day. I can't be irreverent anymore. Like I said, I was very disheartened and, yes, stressed out over this shadowing thing and keep ever-changing rules of this YouTube video that I released. Anyway, so long story longer, I had a YouTube channel that got censored by someone in particular named Yenny, who wrote me emails, and I still have them. I sent it to Attorney General's office at that time. This is like 8 years ago, and I had a lot of views. Some of the videos they didn't like, they censored it, they shut down, or she actually shut down my channel. So whenever I open another one, she'll shut it down too, literally shut it down. And you say, well, then what happens with the advertising dollars? Because you have this so-called the AdSense, the Google AdSense, and they're always luring these video makers by saying monetize your video. Who doesn't like that? But the trick is that if you just say not suitable for advertiser or just not to their liking, I mean, it could be anyone that just dislike the way you look or they don't like what you say. And now being so PC kind of culture, you know, obviously I'm an easy target. I'm nobody. Anyways, I'm a Chinese immigrant. I'm a poor Chinese immigrant, but I'm proud to be an American, and I speak out against this left-wing agenda that try to shift all of us into either you got to keep up with what they demand or shut up. So I don't like to do that. But anyway, so all my my videos, some of the videos, this new channel, the Cheryl Ling, I mean, you know, I'm just exhausted. Some videos that are good, all of a sudden they got shut down, and you could request the review manually by clicking I want to review manually, but it may take months now because now they cleverly, or let's just say being very sly, by putting in a disclaimer that says that, oh, wait till you get 1,000 views. Well, if they oppress you, you're not going to get 1,000 views from the fucking algorithm of YouTube. So then they'll review it. It's just a part of the policy now. It's like people are scratching their asses. They go, ha, ha, ha. It's the same thing with Charlottesville. Did you know there was a stand down? Did you know that this was not so-called the Nazi, what do you call that, fascist or something? I'm confused because everybody's calling everybody names. All right, KKK. Still don't know what it stands for. All right, somebody write me. But it was not a KKK like the left-wing MSM wants you to believe. In fact, I had to look. I mean, you can't just condemn everything. What did the fucking left-wing media, excuse me, all right, so I say the F word there because I was excited. Why did they not condemn Obama when Obama embraced the Black Lives Matters, embraced the Ferguson, the rioters, and then called them heroes, invited them to the fucking White House? Oh my God, can you believe that? I personally know a white man. I mean, I don't know him that well, but who wants to live in freaking Baltimore? He worked in a restaurant in Baltimore, got shot by this black guy whom in fact was working there, and shot him because the guy was taking the cash money. It was like, he said it was like $52, and he's so afraid because he got recognized by this guy. You know, he was closing the bar, and the black guy shot him. I couldn't believe it, and poor white guy couldn't walk very well. I think it damaged his nerves. He was in a hospital or something. So he's like, because, you know, I saw that I was limping, but he's limping really bad. He's losing function on that side. I got paralyzed. And they said that he wasn't supposed to walk, but he is. It just, he walks like a zombie, you know. I mean, I know how it feels. Sometimes I walk down the beach, I feel like, ugh. I can't move one arm or one leg. So what's the point? The point is there's a double standard, incredible. I mean, I don't even want to start take sides, but I started to investigate, meaning that I was looking into what happened. First, I didn't know what was happening. My roommate came and told me, said there was supposedly a peaceful demonstration to demonstrate against removing of this Robert E. Lee bust. It's a fucking bust. It's not gonna hurt nobody. Leave it alone. I mean, how politically sensitive you want to be? Do you want to remove the Mount Rushmore too? I suppose Robert E. Lee was the general for the South, it's part of history. I don't know, right or wrong. That's part of history. I'm not talking about right or wrong. I just think that to use that excuse, and which is what George Soros and all these people are trying to, make themselves victims, or make what George Soros tried to say that the Black Lives Matter or BLM people, they're victims, when in fact that they're just taking advantage of the system and try to decimate the freedom of speech systematically by the so-called anti-fa people. They're paid for it. I'm not kidding. I just read that Robert Kramer admitted it. This guy, they're paying these people. They ship them to busloads and stuff like that. These people show up. So-called the anti-fa showed up on the day of protest. Now, you have to keep in mind, Virginia City Council of this Charlottesville are very liberal. They're all Democrats, all right? The mayor's Democrats, and they're cahoots with these, the so-called Obama, Clinton, and all these machines. So they were not allowing these legitimate permitted protests. They weren't going to allow it to happen. The protest was supposed to just be a march. I guess they have candlelights or whatever. But as Jason Kessler, the organizer who got the permit, said that they had to go to court and to fight. They were just trying to do it legally. They're just saying, don't take away our history. Because maybe in Chinese, you probably don't know who Chiang Kai-shek is, but, obviously he's the hero that finally got defeated, thrown by the communists. If you like what communists do, then go ahead, right? Go to China. That's what I'm saying. But like most of the free China, which is still the democracy in Taiwan, if you want to remove Chiang Kai-shek's statue, they will freaking kill you. So, anyways, this Jason Kressler filed for a peaceful protest. He said that what happened, even with some of the Fox News guys, right? They got pepper sprayed by the anti-protesters. So basically, they were being trapped because the Virginia City Council, the Charlottesville, did not want the protest. All right. So what happened was the judge gave the injunction and said, go ahead. It is their freedom to exercise by saying, you should not remove our history, this part of history. Leave it alone. But then the Antifa people showed up by the busloads, and they were ready to go. And I can tell you, with my own eyes, I seen on the video, the guy with the black helmet, I swear, that's the same people in the UCLA were beating it down with the Inferno and destroy properties and stand down. Nobody held them accountable. What I'm saying is they got away. They probably took the bus and drove to this Virginia, and that's part of their gigs. They're getting paid for this stuff. I totally see that, because guess what happened is the police were told to stand down. They said the protesters were walking into the trap, okay? They're just saying peacefully they want to have a march. This is our history. So anyway, like I said, what's going to be next? Abraham Lincoln, right? You can go on and on. It's a prejudice. That they're using every excuse there is to hate white people, and I've talked to so-called the the illegals that came here. I'm in California, and they hate white people. I go, well, then you should be in Syria, where you came from, where there is no white people, or in Kuwait. I remember it clearly. The other person is, I forgot, Argentina or something like that. So their agenda is to come to this country. I mean, people that do not love this country, they want to demolish it. They want to destroy it. They want to take whatever they can get out of it. And then now they're saying, white people, you cannot speak out. You're evil. So it is a grander scheme. As my friend, I was in communication with Terry Ian, that he said it's part of the grander scheme of this globalization. No borders, and illegals flood in, and you have no sovereignty, and white people are bad. So now schools have no white people week. Like, white people cannot even come to the school. They cannot speak up because they're white. So reverse racism has taken over. Anyways, I don't know why I veer off from this thing with the YouTube, because, you know, like I said, I didn't feel like I just thought this is absurd. I just thought there was a big deal. Donald Trump came out and just said that both sides are wrong. He didn't have all the facts. He said both sides, which is true. Both sides were wrong. But I would tell to the Antifa they were wrong. Not wrong, they were calculatively vicious. Because they know the CNN, MSNBC, they would love to blame it on Donald Trump. They would love to get Duke into this. Did you know that he was a Democrat? Did you know? Did you know so-called Nazi fascism? They're communism. They're socialists. So don't get it wrong. The protesters were just saying, you know, leave us alone. We have the right to say no to removing. This is part of our culture. I mean, it would break my heart if they removed the Chiang Kai-shek statue, because he's my hero. All right, I don't know. You know, I mean, I personally don't know that there's so many of these generals that went and fought. Whatever it is, whether you agree or disagree, that's part of history. Otherwise, you shut down Gettysburg. You can shut down everything. You can shut down the Coliseum. It's part of history. All right. So these so-called Antifa people, they were vicious, and they sprayed tear gas upon these reporters. And then the cop says, we're told to be just stand down, be quiet, don't do anything. See, everything could have been avoided, so-called this riot and all that kind of stuff. But they were told by who? We want to know. Is it by the mayor, singular? I think that, yeah, very much so, because he's a Democrat. And you know how they are, how they function. They're very sneaky. They're just waiting, salivating to entrap. Oh, peaceful protester. They try to entrap them, portray them as some kind of KKK, and then they want to link Donald Trump to it. So this thing is going to be bigger than the so-called Russian gate. You know, it's one thing after another. The what do you call it? The Robert Mueller gate, Russian gate, or whatever. And now they just try everything to associate Donald Trump, like he's evil, he's bad. The CNN said that he's evil without even quoting what he was saying. Donald Trump says that we should be loving each other and not hating each other and fighting each other. That's what he said, which is true. But then they go, you have to condemn. Before the truth come out, it's like, you know, if you have a fight in your house, I heard somebody say that he's always getting blamed because he's the little brother. He's like, you know, the older guys always ganged up on him, and plus there were two of them, by saying, oh, well, you know, the little brother, he's the one who's causing trouble, that's why we beat him up. So what's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is that definitely the left-wing agenda that's so prevalent that we all know, I mean, we see right through it, and I think that we have to be wise because this is the last days. If you disagree with them, then immediately you're a racist. But it's hard to say that I'm a racist. I'm looking in from outside. I'm just saying, this is, to me, it doesn't settle. It's not settling right until you get all the facts out. So immediately to call Trump that he's associated with this, that's not right. Then why didn't you say that Obama, which he invited BLM people, and he was like with the Ferguson burning down the house, for crying out loud. And this word, I can't believe that alt-right was invented by Clinton or something. So my friend Terry had gave me some scripture. He says that you got to be vigilant in the last days, because that those who are gonna call good evil, evil good, and they are ruled. We just have to keep speaking the truth. And I think, like I was looking at Rush Limbaugh, also on Alex Jones' channel when he had the interview with Jason Kessler. I encourage you to look at it.